Hi everybody from super hot Portugal. Europe is in the midst of a heat wave and it's brutal, but I'm going to try not to complain about the weather too much because if you get up early, you can actually get some things done, and that's what I've been trying to do. And I did manage to get a whole bunch of stuff done in this video. I'm coming at you from the pool area because I've had some building developments in front of the house and I don't want to spoil the surprise up there. And loads of stuff has happened in the garden, and I've also prepared the pool for the summer as well. So I've got lots to share, but before I get into the video, I have an announcement to make. Usually at this time of the month, it's when I do my update video, and I tried to do an update video. It was actually an update for 2 months because I didn't have time in early June to do one for May. So I was working on it. It was a massive video. I put a lot of work into it, and then I went to open it yesterday to finish it off, and the file is kaput. It's corrupted. It's not working, it's snookered, and I don't know why, and I've given up. So I'm not going to do an update video this month, and I don't think I'm going to do it for the foreseeable future. They take a lot of work, and I feel like if I'm sitting behind my computer, perhaps I could, instead of working on those videos, look into doing some shorts or trying something different for a little while. So I've got lots of work ahead of me. I've got lots of things to do, lots of things backed up, and doing the update videos takes a couple days out of my work schedule each month, and I'm just going to try not doing them. I know some of you guys like them. I know some of you really don't like them, so maybe some of you will miss them, maybe some of you won't. I do them because I like the idea of looking back and having a diary with all the stuff I've done, and having just a recap of everything I've done is easy for some people to watch my videos and keep up with what I'm doing without having to watch weekly. But I'm going to try it without it for a little while and see how that goes, and possibly it'll free up some time to do some other things. So that's a lot of talking. Let's just get into the video. As I mentioned, I do some work in the front of the house. I do lots of stuff in the garden with Sinead's help, and yeah, I also clean the pool and get that ready for summer. So let's get into the video. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you again at the end. So let me welcome you to what I will fondly refer to as the cucumber shit show. Every year it's my intention to keep these things pruned, but I've never actually looked up how to do it until today, where I found a video for a very enthusiastic New Jersey guy. I'll put the link below for anyone interested, who seems to have guided me through the process. But until you actually get in front of your plant, it really is hard to know if you understand. So what I want to do, and what I should have done when these things were growing, is tried to keep them pruned in the same way I do the tomato suckers, so that I could take one main stem and steer it upwards, rather than having this insane sprawl and all kinds of crazy stuff happening in here. So it's time to get in with some snippers and see if I can tangle out this insane mess, make some sense of it, and actually be able to see the cucumbers instead of just seeing a whole mass of crazy leaves. So I've got some precision snippers, which I might need to use towards the bottom, which is crazy. The tool of joy is definitely going to be overkill, but for up here, I can actually just snip these off with my hands. So I think he said, or maybe, let's see, yeah, he'll come off. So we've got what I guess will turn into a cucumber somewhere around here. This is the main stem. This is the, I think he called sunleaf. That's the sucker, and I just, or that's the tendril, I don't know the name, and I just snapped off what would want to become a new vine. So same with this one. We've got the main stem coming up, and this section of cucumber is actually doing really well, so I can take it off there, and that should stop it from bushing out up here. I've got this leaf tangled around something here, so this is the sun leaf there, and then if you look in, we've got another I don't know, sucker or tendril, whatever. So this wants to be a new branch, and I want to get rid of that. So, I don't know, that seems a little bit more straightforward than I was expecting, but this could be a pretty obvious branch. But I guess my goal is just to kind of work through them section by section and see what I end up with. Because the problem that I'm having right now is there's a whole bunch of crazy leafy bushy stuff at the bottom, and I can't see any cucumbers at all in there. It's completely obstructed, no sunlight's getting in, and it's just a total mess. And then hopefully after a little bit of work I will have regained control of this garden bed and it will be a shit show no more. I guess it's kind of like getting the tomato suckers, but the cucumbers get way out of control, way more quickly. And because I'd never actually looked up how to do this, I guess I was always sort of intimidated about how to actually keep the plants under control. There's just always so much to learn, so many different plants. They all have different needs, but I find the whole thing really enjoyable. So things are looking nuts down here. I'm gonna maybe trim out a few leaves at the bottom, just so I can see things a bit better. I don't think they're gonna actually really do much down here now. So it looks like we've got 3 branches coming off this plant. One is going vertical, one's going to the left, and we've got another one kind of going to the interior. So I don't really feel great about sacrificing a whole bunch of cucumbers that are already growing, but I don't know, I also don't want to crowd things out too much, and I want the plant to be able to give the energy and the love to the cucumbers that can make it up to the top. So I've got this here. I'm going to take it off. Now, as you can see, it's got a few cucumbers growing, but it's all getting a little bit too crazy inside there in the interior. So it can go, and then hopefully that means other things will grow up higher and be happier than if they're kind of lurking here in the darkness. So this plant here seems good. The one next to it seems like there's some craziness happening, so needs some attention. So let's follow this guy down. We want to take off this thing here, I think. And that could be the future cucumber, I believe. Don't know. Okay, things got confusing pretty fast. This needs to come off, I believe. Yep. So take this off. It's growing into the interior right now, but it's too grown to be able to take off with my hands. So I'll get these guys out. There you go. And then I'll pull it out of the middle, creating more space in there. And this cucumber has had to perish, but you know what? It's for the sake of the entire harvest, which should go for a lot longer. So as you can see, I've got a lot of decisions to make in here, lots of work to do. It's a total mess. So this is what she looks like right now, and I'll see you soon with hopefully a nice clean cucumber bed. Some cucumbers have been harmed in the making of this video, but what's that, Mikey? Some cucumbers have also been found. Found this guy here, he's ready to pick. And I found a couple other small ones as well. And overall, I couldn't be happier with how this has gone. I think it looks amazing. I can actually see where the plants are. I can see where to water. What do you think, sir? What do you think? Did you find the cucumber? It's not that interesting, is it? Is it? It can go in the compost with the rest of the cucumber remnants. So as you can see, I did cut off quite a bit, but it looks so much better. And it was surprisingly enjoyable as well. I decided to leave a few of the non-main stem tendrils. I don't think that's the correct official term for them, but I decided to leave them to see what happens. And I've actually got another cucumber plant I might plant here. So I'm gonna observe things. I've got another one coming up to the interior. So just see what that does, and maybe I can pull it up with a piece of string and have it grow up here. Who knows? All I do know is that I have a cucumber bed that doesn't look like complete and total chaos. I really don't know why I've been dreading this job for so long. I suppose when you look into that crazy mass of cucumber leaves that I had earlier, it can be quite insane looking, and I really didn't know where to start. So thanks to the YouTube guy whose name I don't know, but I'll put the link below. Thanks for the very informative video. It gave me the confidence I needed to tackle that mess, and in the future I know exactly what to do. It wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, and hopefully I can keep on top of my cucumbers so I don't have to do that again, because it was quite time consuming. However, very rewarding, and I can completely see the difference, and hopefully I'm gonna have a really nice cucumber harvest this year. So as I scroll past, I can actually see a few that I've missed. That's just a little baby one. Off you come. And this one is a bit more of a big one, so it might need the scissors, but I'll come back for that one later. Thought I would take a little tour over to the tomatoes, which I've also spent quite a bit of time tying up. They were getting a little bit unruly. I've snipped off some of the larger suckers and tied everything to be a bit more vertical. So I'm gonna have a bumper harvest this year, I think, of cherry tomatoes. Hello there. It's getting hot, isn't it? These guys are really enjoying kind of chilling in the straw, in the shadows. But yeah, it's about to get really hot next week. Up to 40 degrees for 2 weeks straight, I think. So I'm trying to get as much done in the garden as I can. And that's planting out this garden bed with some purple basil, some thyme, and some blueberries, all which complement each other, and hopefully they all like a nice piney bed as well. So let's do it the fast way. Okay, the blueberries are in. I probably could plant another one there, maybe. I don't know how far apart they need to be, but I've got all 4 plants in. And it's actually a new day, so I didn't work on this straight away because it got too hot. And that's the season we're in right now, so things are crazy. I've got Sinead down here. Hi, Sinead. And the two of us are gonna tackle that garden bed this morning, and then probably call it a day on work. It's about 10:30 and it is ridiculously hot. So the cucumbers have been free from their mess for about a week, and I've actually been harvesting quite a few cucumbers. So we've got this guy here, and a few more on the way, that guy there. So I'm gonna start making pickles very soon. I've got another one there. Let's take that guy as well. And this is one of my favorite times of the year, pickle season, because the pickles you get in Portugal are sadly not that amazing, and I do love a pickle. So today, for about an hour, Sinead and I are gonna weed this disaster and try to plant some chilies in the bed. Are you excited, Sinead?
Overjoyed.
Overjoyed. But you know what? It's hot, and we just need to get this done. So the camera's going away, but this is what the bed looks like right now. And I'll check in again once we've got a beautiful chili garden. Okay, we're back, and a lot has gotten done in, what, about an hour, do you think? An hour or so of work?
An hour.
An hour or so. Fairly, not so difficult work, but in the heat, not so fun either. So we've got...
It's not so bad.
We've got some juice, icy juice. We've got one garden bed. This is a variety of different chilies, bird's eye, cherry bomb, a bunch of other things I don't really know about. And then over here, we've outdone ourselves and we've planted more chilies in this space as well. I love chilies. I love pickling jalapenos. Sinead loves heat in her food. And it's quite difficult to find spicy chilies in the Portuguese supermarkets, so you have to grow your own. So I think we're pretty much sorted. One thing I wanted to point out is we have a little flower coming. So this is a zinnia, I assume, in amongst a whole bunch of sunflowers. So this should be pretty when it all blooms. So it's noon, it's hot, and it's time to take a break. So I'm gonna join Sinead on the deck, drink some juice, and yeah, I think we're pretty happy with our day of work. Happy with the day of work?
The day is young.
So it's been a productive morning. As you can probably tell, I'm super gross and sweaty and ready to go hide inside and do something out of the sun and a little less physical. So yeah, chilies are on the way. I'm going to be excited to see how these plants grow and excited to have lots and lots of chilies in our future. So I'll say goodbye from today. I'm going to hibernate for a little bit, and I'll see you again for some other job that is yet to be decided. Okay, I think it's time to get back to work on Tracy's garden bed. I've got a couple more pieces to cut, and I've got a couple pieces ready. This is my favorite part, so I always just love to film it. So satisfying. Let's see what this one does. I love it. So this weird piece here is just kind of a, I don't know, leftover, off-cut, useless bit, and I thought I would somehow stick it in this area to build up the corner, because eventually this is going to be a tower like that one, and it's going to need some support over in this bit here. And then this other piece up here, I'm going to cut it more narrow and shape it to the right size so that it'll fit in there. And it should match up to the other side, so it gives me an equal space just in case I want to put some kind of lighting in there in the future. Good morning. It's a new day from when I first started working on that stone. It's actually a few days later, and that's because we're in the midst of some kind of crazy heat wave. It's been in the news. I think Europe is going through something hot and horrible, and it's going to be, it has been 40 degrees for a few days, and it's going to continue for the next few days. And so I tried to get up at 5:30, but that failed. However, I did manage to get up at 6:30, and so I'm trying to get this garden bed done. So all the stones are in place, and the hard part right now is going to be wheelbarrowing compost up and down to fill the bed in. So that's why I'm up early. I've got some lighter tasks I can do, but this wheeling of the compost is going to be pretty brutal. Maybe you can hear in the distance that Sinead is also up and she's strimming. It's just what you have to do these days. You got to get up early to beat the heat, and then when the heat comes, you just have to go to a lake and veg out. And I actually spent a few hours at the lake yesterday, and it was glorious. And today I envision myself being in the pool quite a bit. However, I do have to empty it, give it a clean, and fill it back up. So I've got compost to move. I'm going to get the hard labor out of the way this morning and then move on to something a little bit more relaxed as the heat approaches. So wish me luck. So while I'm down here, I might as well chat about my compost. As you can see, it's out of control. I don't really do a compost pile where I'm flipping it all the time. I sort of just chuck everything on and leave it. And nature does its thing eventually after a year. So what I'm using right now is compost from last year. And I used to have 3 bins, but one of them just kind of disintegrated. Don't know what happened to it. Fell apart, and now it's a weedy mess. So what I want to do is use all the compost in this bin before I then start putting my food scraps and everything here. And then I'll let this one compost down, and this is where I'll add all the stuff. And then next year I'll use this one, and this one will take quite a while to break down. I'll use that the following year. And so far so good. I still do have to buy bags of compost from the shops because I don't have enough, or I want sort of a different type of mix. But it seems to be working. However, I am fully aware that this is not how you do compost, and it could definitely be improved. I have some friends that have some serious compost piles on the go, and compost envy, that's the thing. I look at those big piles of beautiful compost and feel like I should probably sort out my system a little bit better very soon. But for the moment, for a small garden, it does the trick. So Tracy's a little bit unruly, and I hate to chop her off too much, but I feel like clearing out a bit of the bottom will be good for her. Okay, I think another couple loads should do the trick, and it's not hot yet, so I think this is going to be fine. So that didn't take too long. It was 3 wheelbarrow loads, pretty full ones. And Tracy, I think, is looking way happier. I possibly should have let the cement cure before I filled it up with soil, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And so what I've done here is marked out some cuts for shorter stones, and these are going to be used here to make a tower like that. Not now, I'm just going to cut the stones and place them there. But first, before I deal with this, I need to deal with this. The pool is green. I left it uncovered for a couple of days, and that just happens with the sun. So I'll be getting in here later today, and so I want to empty this, give it a clean. I do have some chlorine in this little thing, but the chlorine is no match for the sun, so I need to remember to try to keep the pool covered. Luckily though, emptying the pool and cleaning it out isn't that big of a deal. I just head over here to under the stairs. Reach in here to this very scary area. Oh, there's so many spiders in there. This just got a little more treacherous. All right, let's see. Be gone, spiders. Be gone. I don't like that. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go for it. So, reach in here. Hopefully the spiders don't attack me. Turn this tap. I think it's that tap. Yep, and then the pool is connected. Oh, wow. Look at all these spiders. This is a bit of a horror show in here, actually. Yeah, I wish I didn't see that. That's pretty scary. Anyway, the pipe to the pool drain is connected through the water tank to here. And so this then drains down on the land. And there is a little bit of chlorine in the pool, but there's such a small amount that it doesn't matter so much, I don't think. So that's what's happening. It's gonna empty and I'll give it a clean later on, fill it up. And yeah, I'll be in there when the heat gets unbearable because it's already hot and it's only 9 o'clock. So this is the pool now. It's not too bad, but definitely a little bit gunky. And it's raining pretty quickly, so I'll be back down here soon to give it a clean, give it a refill, but first, let's do some grinding before it gets crazy hot. The best part is tapping it off, but it tapped itself off. So, one done, 2 more to go. 1, 2. So these little pieces will remain here for the foreseeable future until I'm ready to build the tower. I just wanted to get them cut. They'll need to be shortened and refined, but for the moment they're cut, they're there, they're ready, and it means I can just clear up everything else. So that's it for Tracy Trumpet for the moment. I still have to do some pointing on the bed and then it'll be finished. And I can't start working on the tower until I start working on the rest of the pergola. So that's actually a long way off. So I might move those somewhere else just so everything looks a little cleaner. But that's the hard, hot work out of the way for this morning. And I'm gonna have some breakfast and see if I can push on with something else later on today. But honestly, it's gonna be 40 degrees, so I might just clean the pool and take it easy for the afternoon and yeah, see what happens. So I'm happy with this little morning flurry of work. A lot happier than Tracy looks. She's only got one little lonely flower here right now. And actually, you know what? Since I'm not going to be using these things for a while, oops, let's get them out of the way. And try not to actually drop them on the hose. Sorry, hose. So we can see the full effect of how this all looks. And I'll tidy this all up shortly. So, there we go. I think she's looking really nice. And I am actually wondering what to plant in here. Somebody suggested planting something that's going to hang over the stones, which I think would be cool. And I have this stuff over here. It has little red flowers. I forget what it's called. A lot of people have told me already and I keep forgetting. But I could easily take a cutting of this and it would fill the entire bed with those. But I'm wondering if it might be a little bit too suffocating for Tracy. So my other option is possibly some annual flowers. I'm not sure. So anyone who has any ideas about what might go nice in here with Tracy the trumpet flower, I'm all ears. And so my next project for today will be cleaning the pool, because I already know it's actually too hot to do anything today. It's already insane, and I'm going to be spending my day, I think, mostly in here. All right, that's full enough. In goes the chlorine. In goes the floaty thing. And this is my plan for the rest of the afternoon. So I will see you later. Okay, let's wrap the video up there. I actually spent yesterday afternoon sitting in the pool, in the ring, floating around, and it was absolutely glorious because, as I've mentioned at the beginning of the video and several times throughout the video, it is ridiculously hot out here and it's difficult to get anything done after about 12 o'clock. So I'm going to be trying to cram in as much work as I can in the early mornings. I've got lots of things on my schedule. I've got lots of fun things ahead. But yeah, it's going to be slow going and I'll just have to pace myself, drink a lot of water, and try to stay cool. And having the splash pool right there is amazing. And having river beaches and other swimming pools around the area is great as well. And I'm actually going to the pool later today. So that's enough for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do share it around. If you liked it, give it a like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.